All right, so I actually deleted my videos from Facebook, or I put them on private because Facebook, the way people interact, it's not quite aligned for me right now. So I'm just gonna post my videos on YouTube and maybe Instagram. So I've been reflecting a lot on transitions, like things ending and then creating this space for new things. And there was like a lot of grief earlier this week about the sense of loneliness and desolation and things ending. And then there was this shift where it was like, oh, there's space. And it was like something really big, not big, but really consistent and important and like stabilizing in my life temporarily fell away, and it was a shock. But right after that, I just started to feel this kind of excitement of like, a lot of things are clearing away, and that means I have to start doing new things. And I moved around a lot for about 10 years when I lived on the West Coast. And so I got a lot of practice with like making new friends, going to new events, getting to know a new town or new city, going to all kinds of events, trying things I wouldn't maybe ordinarily try, doing new things consistently. That whole time, that whole 10 years, it was like I was constantly needing to restart and, like start from the ground up. And I had a dream last night where that was this theme. It was like starting from the ground up. So it's kind of like an exciting time because I can explore new things. And it's funny because I have this new therapist, and I haven't actually been able to find a good therapist who's a good therapist for me for about 7 years, I'd say, since I moved back to Massachusetts from the West Coast. And I kind of gave up, I was like, therapy's probably just not for me because I'm not finding anyone that's good for me. And it was like a comedy of errors, just having several therapists that were very clearly not a good fit. So, but then I found this woman. It's like I changed insurance plans. I started making phone calls. I really did feel like I wanted to do therapy. Like there were certain walls I was hitting, and it was like, I need to like work on some things. So I got a recommendation for this woman, and I started seeing her, and it was like instantly I knew she was right. She was the one for me right now. So I have been seeing her for a couple months now. And something I did like with my last therapist, when I lived in Olympia, which was over 7 years ago, was I asked her if we could do no suggestions. And partly because her suggestions were very unhelpful, but I did like her. So she agreed right away, we can do no suggestions. So we did that. And she said suggestions in therapy can be a distraction. So she was really validating of my reality, which was that the suggestions were a distraction. And I also did something with her where like I would just talk for a while in the beginning because I felt like I had all these things and I wanted to get them all out of my head before like focusing on anything in particular. So I actually recently asked my new therapist if we could do that because I noticed that like I would start to talk about something and then we would really go deep into that, but it might not be something I really need to talk about for like a half hour or 20 minutes. It might just be something I need to say, So yeah, I've been kind of doing that with her. And this therapist, like, she is very, very in tune. She's very present. And I mean, I'm actually kind of blown away by her. I think she's probably the best therapist I've ever had thus far that I can tell. But interestingly, like there's been this thing where she's giving me these suggestions and like I get kind of thrown off by that. But one of her suggestions actually kind of helped me. I think part of why I find suggestions a little difficult is because I'm very vulnerable to them, but they kind of put me on the defensive, because a lot of times like my initial reaction is, oh, I've already tried that, or that's not going to work, or that. But the other thing is just that like a sort of practical or superficial suggestion makes it harder for me to go deeper. So it's like, what's really going on for me? I can't get to the deeper levels if we stay on the level of like practical service level suggestions, like, have you thought about taking a class in this or something like that? It's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm actually a little mixed about the whole topic of suggestions in therapy, because I thought I was really against them, but then like I tried one of her suggestions today, which was to try a meetup group. And it's like, moved around so much. I've gone to a million meetup groups, and I already like, I'm constantly looking at different events to go to, because I'm really in a time in my life right now where I want to make new friends and I want to meet new people, and I want to expose myself to things that are different from my current flow. And I'm just like getting very clear messages that that's what I need to do. And it's interesting, like when you've lived somewhere for a long time, it can be easy to do the same things, see the same people, get into certain routines, but then like there are these times where it's like, it's time to make some new friends, it's time to change, it's time to do something different. And it's like there are the things I know I need to do in my life, and then they're like, for example, reading my writing out loud, performing, things like that, and creative arts in general. But then it's like, right now, I need to try things. So today I went over to this maker space. It's called Make, Fix, Hack or something like that. And it's like in my neighborhood, pretty close, like a drive, but a very short drive. And they have an open house today, and I'm not a maker really. Like I'm not a big maker. I didn't have any project in mind. I've been dabbling with mending my clothes for the past year or two with the help of a friend and a group that he hosts, but I never became like good at mending or intuitive about how to mend things. So the other thing about like trying new things is it's like trying things that I'm not naturally good at, not naturally drawn to necessarily. But I, just like walked in, and it was a friendly space, and I saw somebody I knew there, and I met another woman who was involved with this other space in my neighborhood as well, that hosts a game afternoon, which I had gone to this past weekend, or checked it out anyway. I didn't stay that long, but I ended up talking to her for a while about that space, because it's a fairly new space. It's a cooperative, and we ended up talking about just like things that might be possible in that space. And I guess like the essential thing that I'm trying to get at is just like how magical it can be to try new things. Like it can be, it can go either way. Like sometimes it can just be like, yeah, this is not really my scene, not really where I want to be. Like I'm not really making any connections here or whatever. But I'm working on kind of just like going to new places and just staying for a little bit and see what happens, And it felt magical in a way, because I ended up talking to her about that space and like the potential for collaborating on things there. So it feels like, oh, this could be a new friend, or even if not, it could be like just a new connection. And that's just like something I need to like give a sense of spark to life again, a sense of like anything is possible. I can walk into a new space and see new people, and yeah, so that's just something I'm thinking about. And then it's also like I can get better at things, you know? Like I might not naturally be good at fixing things or mending things or dancing or singing or music, you know? I mean, I've been playing the ukulele now for several years, maybe three or 4 years, I'd say. I'm still not very good at it, but it's like opening me up to all these people, these things, and like I know a lot more songs now. It's opening me up to songs that I love, and just like the love of playing music with other people. I don't have to be good at it, you know, I can still love it. And the same is true for singing and dancing for me. I also joined this Salsa Rueda group that dances on Tuesdays in my neighborhood in a park. And again, like I'm not very good at it, and maybe if I stick with it I can get better. But like seeing life as an adventure, you know? And I think we all need to keep giving ourselves that permission to go on a journey, like where we don't know what's going to happen at every stage of life. You know, there's never a point where it's time to just give up on the mystery and like anything is possible.